Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Catherine. If you're new here, I'm so glad you've joined me today. Today, I'm gonna be sharing with you a Trim Healthy Mama S meal, and I'm gonna be doing enchiladas. Enchiladas is like a family favorite around here, so finding a Trim Healthy Mama version of enchiladas was awesome for me. It's really easy, a super fast meal that you can create like after a long day of work. If you've been at work all day and you need to come home and just whip something together really fast and you definitely don't want to eat fast food, you can use this recipe. And I'll be linking that in the description below for you as well. So the recipe that I'm going to be showing you today is actually for a smaller family, but the recipe that I'm going to put in the description is for a family of 6 to 8 people according to the recipe book. But before we get started, I just want to share something really quick with you and let you kind of know where I'm at. So if you've never seen any of my videos before, I am brand new to doing Trim Healthy Mama. This is a totally new experience for me, and I'm just trying to share what I'm doing with you guys so that if you're interested in using Trim Healthy Mama, you can follow along with me. Now, I'm not always going to do it perfect, and I'm definitely not always going to probably do it on plan. I'm doing the best that I can though, and I just figure this is a better option than what I was doing before, which was kind of going on and off of diets, and it's not really healthy. And Trim Healthy Mama is not a diet. It promotes food freedom, but it just shows you a way that you can eat that's actually going to help your body's blood sugar levels stabilize so that you can lose weight, so that you don't have the brain fog, so that we don't have all of the other issues that go along with our blood sugar being out of whack and our cholesterol being too high and all of the things that we don't want to deal with, right? So I'm learning a lot so far, but I'm really new at it. So I'm just gonna be sharing different things with you guys as I learn them. Like, I'm not always gonna be doing them to the book, but I'm gonna do the best that I can. If you ever come across anything that I'm doing and you have a question, please always feel free to reach out in the comment section and let me know that, or just ask there. And then also, if you want more support and you're new to Trim Healthy Mama, just go on Facebook, look up the groups. There's tons of Trim Healthy Mama groups out there that you can just join and be part of, and you can ask those ladies any questions that you want. And these are women that are like veterans doing this for a while, and so they've been able to help me out a ton, and that's a great resource for you as well. So I am not the end-all be-all of knowing everything about Trim Healthy Mama, definitely not, but I am doing the best that I can and just sharing it with you. So I have to also say something really quick about my first week on Trim Healthy Mama. I recorded like what I ate, not everything, but I recorded a lot of what I ate, and I put that out there for you guys. And I followed the Trim Healthy Mama's book plan that they had for a drive-through Sue menu. And I did that just for, I guess, for like experimental purposes to see how well it really was going to work out if I followed this to the T, right? And I was able to lose 9 pounds. Like, that's a lot of weight. But that was just because my body was acclimating and all the things. You can go back and watch the video and hear all about that. And I'll link that at the end of this video. But when I was doing it, there was one day where the drive-through Sue menu said to eat light Progresso soup with like a grilled cheese sandwich, I think. So I bought a cream-based. It was like potato, bacon, I don't even remember. Apparently, I'm not supposed to eat cream-based soup, but it didn't specify in the menu that I wasn't supposed to eat cream-based soup. It just said, like, flat out, like, eat this, like Progresso light. It was the only stipulations that I had on there, and so that's what I bought. Someone has brought it to my attention that you're not supposed to be eating cream-based soup, apparently, and I just, you know, have this to say. I only ate it one day. I ate it for lunch, and I still lost 9 pounds, so I'm doing pretty good, I think. And I'm okay with that. The point is not to nitpick everything apart when you start Trim Healthy Mama. The point is to figure out what you're supposed to be eating as far as an S meal or an E meal. That's really the basis of it. S meal is high fat and protein and vegetables. An E meal is higher carb and protein and a vegetable. And then you can eat all kinds of other things. Like, if you see that video, you're gonna see me eating like things like chocolate and coconut no-bake cookies, and I mean, just I ate a lot of really awesome stuff and still lost 9 pounds. So it's not about being so legalistic, I call it, or so to the book, to the T. You can't divert, you have to only eat these things, because if that's what we're doing, we're missing the point with Trim Healthy Mama. We're supposed to be learning food freedom, and I get trying to eat on plan as much as possible. I totally get that, and I'm definitely trying that as well. And I'm doing really well. But let me also tell you, you didn't get to see this. This will probably super shock you and say, you shouldn't be eating that. That's not on plan. But guess what? We have lives to live, and I have children to deal with, and I have busyness going on, right? So sometimes we have to eat out. Oh my goodness. We have to eat at fast food restaurants. Oh my goodness. I know. It's terrible. I know. Okay. I know. But the first week that I recorded for you guys and posted last Saturday, for you go back and watch it if you haven't seen it, I didn't record every single thing I ate because it just got too long. But I was out with my daughter on Sunday afternoon, which was the day before I was going to be done with the 7 days. So it was like, I think that was on day 7 actually. I went out with my daughter. We were doing some Christmas shopping. We were starving and I didn't plan to do anything. I didn't think we were going to be out at lunchtime, but it just so happened that we were. So I went to Hardee's. I know. And at Hardee's, I just ordered a burger with cheese. I ordered I think I just ordered a regular cheeseburger with everything on it, mayonnaise and everything, without the bun. I didn't order a combo, so I didn't get a drink and I didn't get the french fries, but I got a really big burger wrapped in lettuce. And I ate the whole thing and I was super full and I felt great. Like I didn't beat myself up about it. I didn't miss the french fries. I didn't think I needed to have them, like all the things. I did it and I still lost 9 pounds. So I'm not saying that's a good habit to get into, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to survive. And your job is just to make the best choices you can for food for what you have available in the moment. So you may not be able to order all the Trim Healthy Mama stuff. You may not be able to buy organic. You just have to buy the basics. And so I'm going to be doing a menu for you, doing Trim Healthy Mama on a dime. And so I want to show you guys that because like I need that too. I can't just afford to eat all organic and the best from the health food stores that I can get and all of that. I have to learn how to do it on a budget. So I'm going to be budgeting my next week and see how different it is from the first time that I did it, because the first time I did it, I think I spent like $70 on groceries, plus I had already bought all the Trim Healthy Mama stuff ahead of time, and that was around $200 just because I bought the bigger stuff and all that. But I only bought it the one time because I wanted to see, like, is this really the best? Can I substitute stuff from the grocery store? Do I have to use this? And Trim Healthy Mama never advocates that you have to use all their stuff or any of their stuff. They actually say a lot of times you can pretty much use anything that we have from the grocery store. It's just that a lot of people, including my friend that has already been doing Trim Healthy Mama for a while, had told me like some of this stuff tastes a little different if you use this stuff from the grocery store, but it can be done and totally can be done, okay? So I will link in the description below some things that you can find on Amazon that are really affordable, budget friendly, that are Trim Healthy Mama approved. I just hate saying that. Like I hate saying on plan and on approval and you can, because this is really trying to help us to break off that diet culture mentality issue that most of us who have been dieting on and off, yo-yo dieting, need this, but it's going to take time. And I've also learned about myself that I really love to eat S meals. S meals are just high fat meals and low carbs, but I'm making sure that I'm eating the carbs too, because my body will start gaining weight if I don't eat the carbs. I have to have it all. So I'm making sure that I eat an E meal at least every other day, and then I'm eating S meals mainly just because they're easier and they are filling and I don't feel hungry in between. I don't know why. An E meal, which is energizing, actually leaves me hungry a lot sooner than an S meal. It's just the way I'm wired, but that's not for everybody. So this is just my experience. So I hope you guys are enjoying learning what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and following along, and be patient with yourself. That's the only one huge piece of advice that I want to give you today, is definitely 100% be patient with yourself. If you are struggling trying to beat yourself up doing it perfectly, I would implore you to step back and say, I probably don't need you doing this at all right now, until you can get your head in the right space where you're going to give yourself grace and you're going to say, I'm going to do the best that I can. And if I have to eat creamy Progresso light soup one day, it's not the end of the world and it is okay. But probably don't need to eat McDonald's, don't need to eat bags of chips, you know, all those things. But that's just because that's common sense, not healthy for us. But it's just one of those things where it's kind of like you have to do the best that you can do. Do you, like, do the best you can do, and then just don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You can, you know, use other people's experience for your knowledge, like to help you figure out some stuff, but don't compare your journey to anyone else's journey. Your journey, your body, your chemistry, your metabolism is 100% unique to you. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Let's go check out that enchilada. I'm gonna show you guys what I did. It's super easy. I did slow it down a little bit, so it's not like super speedy the whole time. And I talked a little bit through it, so hopefully that's gonna be helpful to you. And if you want the recipe, don't forget to check the description, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, just click that little subscribe button while you're down there and leave me a comment letting me know that you were here today. And just if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up at the end. I would so appreciate that. That helps me out a ton, and I love helping you guys out. Let's go do the enchiladas. Tonight I'm doing the enchilada wonder casserole from THM Healthy Mama, and that's what it's supposed to look like, so we'll see what ends up happening. But I'm doing it halved, so this recipe here is supposed to be for 6 to 8 people, but I'm gonna kind of not quite half it, but almost half the recipe. And these are the ingredients that I'm gonna be using. Organic grass-fed beef from Walmart. You guys can get whatever kind of meat you want. You can actually use like ground chicken or ground turkey, and but this is just what I have and what I'm using today. So I'm just gonna be using a pound of it, but you can use up to 3 pounds if your family is larger. And this is basically the only ingredients that I need for the entire enchiladas. I'm going to use these wraps instead of what they call for using, which are wonder wraps in the recipe, because you can create your own, like make your own wraps in this book. But again, you guys, I'm just starting out, trying to figure out some stuff. So I'm going to be doing it the easy peasy way and just using this keto approved, so that means it's low carb, extreme wellness, high fiber by Olay. So these are really a lifesaver. You should definitely always have these in your pantry. But the other ingredients that I'm going to be using are these 3 from THM Healthy Mama. You can get these at the store for sure. I don't know where you can get Glucki, but I'm sure you can probably find it on Amazon. I just haven't looked, but I know that the Glucki is like a thickener, so that's why we need that. And these 2 other ingredients are THM Healthy Mama, but you can get those definitely at Walmart, I know for sure. And but their prices are better on THM Healthy Mama's website, or on Amazon you can find these too. Okay, so then the other ingredients I need to make the enchilada sauce is just going to be those 3 ingredients plus the tomato paste, ground cumin, some chili, and Italian seasoning. Not really supposed to be using Italian seasoning. I really just needed oregano, but the ingredients in the Italian seasoning has oregano, and I don't have any oregano, so it has like other stuff in there like thyme and rosemary and basil, but I'm just gonna go with it and see what happens because I don't have oregano in the house, so I'm just kind of winging it, you guys. And then let's talk about this bone broth. I was supposed to have 2 cups of chicken broth for the recipe. I have 0 cups of chicken broth in my house. I don't know why, I just didn't. So I don't know if you watched my other videos where I showed you those crazy noodles that came with this bone broth packet. So I'm gonna use the bone broth packet for this recipe and hope and pray that it comes out good, because this is just chicken bone broth, and all I have to do is mix it with 8 ounces of water, and I have a cup of chicken broth. I don't need 2 cups because I'm halving it, so it really kind of worked out perfect for me. So now all I'm gonna do is drain this hamburger meat that I've already browned up. I'm gonna just get this excess fat off. Even though I'm using 93.7, there's still, you know, a little bit of fat hanging out down there, so I'm just gonna go drain that and throw it all together. And this is a really easy dinner that you can, you know, do for your family, you know, in a quick hurry, as long as you have your meat thawed out ahead of time. And this one is an S meal, so this one is just something that you would want. You guys, my cookbook is pitiful. I know, it's terrible. Like, but I told you, I got like stuff off Facebook Marketplace and stuff is falling apart in some places. That's okay. But this is an S meal, this enchilada wonder casserole. So it's going to be a satisfying meal. Basically, that just means it's high fat, low carb, hence the high fiber, low carb right here. And or you can make your wonder wraps that they have a recipe for in here that are also low carb. So it just depends on how much time you want to spend in the kitchen or how much time you actually have to spend in the kitchen. So all these ingredients here are going to go into a blender to make the sauce, and then I'm going to just make the enchiladas and put cheese on it and I'm good to go. Okay, so you're supposed to put all these ingredients in a blender, but I do not have a blender, so I'm just gonna be using my Ninja. This is what I usually make smoothies in, and I have used it to make sauces before, so I've never made this recipe. You guys are doing it with me for the first time, so we'll see how it works out. Okay, so this recipe calls for a lot of chili powder, so I only had a little bit of chili powder left over in this container, but I have a whole nother container that I'm gonna open and use. So it calls for 1/4 cup of chili powder. That's a lot. That's a lot, y'all. I'm not gonna be using the entire recipe, so I didn't quite fill this up to 1/4 cup, but I'm gonna put the recipe in the description below for you for doing the recipe for 6 to 8 people. But I wanna show you guys something that I was just looking at. When I first dumped this into my measuring cup, it was just the normal color of chili powder. But then I used this other really cheap chili powder that I just picked up the other day, and when I dumped it on top of this one, I noticed the color was totally different. Like, this one was a lot lighter than this one. So I hadn't done this prior, but I just did. I kind of flipped it over and looked at the ingredients here. And the ingredients in the Great Value, now they're both kind of the Great Value brand. Like, this is the Market Side Organic Great Value. So it's still a Walmart brand item. The ingredients in here are all organic, but it's just chili pepper, cumin seed, coriander, clove, and garlic. But if you look at the ingredients in this one right here, that's just the regular old Great Value brand. The ingredients is chili pepper, spices, salt, and silicone dioxide, and it says to make free flowing and garlic. So there's silicone dioxide in this one, and they just say chili pepper and spices. So I don't really know what all the spices are in here. So I just thought I would make it a point to mention that you should probably check your ingredients. I've not been very good at this in the past, and I'm gonna start getting much better. I'm only gonna be adding one because I'm doing a little bit less than the entire recipe. right, you guys, so that was it. It was so good, I'm not even kidding you. It was delicious. And I paired it with green beans with butter. So it was really easy, just I put green beans with it and it was good to go. But it was so good. My family was like, this is the best enchiladas I've had, which I've heard a lot since I've been making Trim Healthy Mama stuff. My family was like, this is so good. Better than the stuff that I was making before. And it tasted a little bit more chili than I was thinking it would, or we were used to using like a canned enchilada sauce. But honestly, it was super, super delicious. So next time though, I will half that chili powder amount that I used. But other than that, it was totally great and delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys here next time.